Happy Sunday. I hope that you're all having a great weekend. Here is your Sunday nugget. Let's talk about pain, how we approach the workouts. By the way, we've got 4 more weeks left and we move into a new split. Can't believe that. It's gone by so incredibly fast. Hopefully you've enjoyed the 4th optional workout. That's just for people who weekly make a decision, want to add something. You don't have to, as long as you're getting consistent lifts in 3 times a week. The Astros ones, you're good. That 4th one is just for people who have maybe a little extra time, want to push the envelope to the next step. It really isn't necessary, but there for many of you, because like I said, there's a lot of you who have been doing this for a long time and really do appreciate a little bit more intensity. So that 4th workout is there, but of course, never feel like it's something that has to be done in order for you to get results. But what I want to talk about mostly today, or about today, is how we respond and react to how our body is feeling and getting these strength workouts done. So if you wake up and you're feeling uncomfortable, and maybe you start your workout first thing in the morning, or maybe you're a lunchtime goer, or you do it after dinner, whatever your choice is, if you start that workout and you're not feeling great, post warm up and mobility work, so there's always that 5 to 10 minute walk walk backwards on the treadmill, or you're just following my warm up, which will get you warm and where you need to be, followed by some of that mobility that typically is the next step before we get into the strength workouts. If you're feeling like 95% better after that, I would like for you to participate 100%, meaning your loads are where they need to be, your sets are what I've recommended, and of course the rep range is where it needs to be. Rep range is a little bit more specific and you need to pay a little bit more attention to those because it often means you have to have a little bit more weight, and some of you are limited in terms of the weights that you have, so you have to just increase the rep range a little bit higher to feel like the muscles are getting what they need to out of the exercise. And eventually, by the way, you are going to have to either invest in heavier equipment or thicker bands, because once you reach a certain plateau, unfortunately, depending on how dedicated and consistent you've been, you will have to up the load. You don't necessarily have to do it for a while. You can, of course, as I've mentioned before, increase intensity by slowing things down, adding pulses and pauses in movements. Just go really slow, especially on that eccentric. That adds a lot. But eventually, ladies, you're going to have to, unfortunately, as you get stronger, increase loads. Now I'm going on a different tangent, so let's stay focused here, Tish. So for example, if I rate 3 sets of 15, 12, or sorry, I should maybe say, like, I haven't done that a lot lately, reps of 10, 8, and 6, that if you're feeling good after the workout, ready to go, I would really like for you to if you have the proper loads, to make sure that 6th rep is not necessarily reaching the threshold, but like 7 would be a challenge, right? If you feel good, if after the warm up, you're still, of course you're gonna feel better. There's no question about it, but you're still not feeling like you are 100% ready to go. That is when you need to dial back at least 20% your loads. That's why we make notes. If you're not making notes, I make the assumption that you just know your weights in your head, which is what I do. But if you are not able to refer to old notes, or if you aren't able to do that, that's why it's really important for you to use the app and document your progress. So when I say refer back to a certain day, you actually can make sure, especially if you're feeling 100% after all the warm-up and mobility work, that you're challenging yourself the same way you did when you did this workout prior at the beginning, right? That progress is very, very important. So I just assume that if you're not writing notes down, that you just know in your head, which is typically quite normal, especially if you've been doing it for quite some time. Things like bicep curls, you're not going to get stronger than 20 pounds in an arm, right? They're tiny muscles. So once you've reached 20, 25 pound dumbbells, you're definitely not going, and it's a pretty easy one to remember, but things like squats, deadlifts, even push presses, thrusts, those sorts of things, farmer walks. Those are the things that are really you're going to see improvements and strength gains happen. And that's because, and that's why note taking and being specific on being aware of how you're feeling in those rep ranges is very, very important. So if you're still feeling a little reluctant, dial it back by 20%. Some of you will need to dial it back a little more. And I also notice in the notes, you'll say in brackets, having an off day today. And so you will know that perhaps next time you do this, you don't need to dial back as much, because you're not going to remember how you feel 3 weeks before that. You're just not. So those notes are really, really awesome, because you can remind yourself of how you were feeling, and hopefully now how you're feeling, how you're improving. And so if you wake up the next day after, say, the chest and back workout, day 1 in each workout, and you are ready to go, then I want you to feel like you can definitely do day 2. And the reason why I'm talking about this right now is because there is a lot of shoulder involvement in chest. So if you've got some shoulder issues going on, that chest workout may have created a little bit of discomfort with that shoulder. I really would like for you to take a day, even maybe 2 days off before you try to attempt a second workout, strength workout. The splits will change. That may not necessarily be what happens when we switch those splits, but for this period of time, because there is upper body, specifically 2 pushes 2 days in a row, I really want you to be mindful and okay with taking an extra day or 2 off. I typically spread those strength workouts from day 1 to Sunday. In fact, I still have only done 2 strength workouts this week because of this. So after my programming is finished and after I finish these nuggets and get on that Facebook Live for the Nutrition Club, I'm going to finish my 3rd strength workout, because that is literally how long I have felt personally that I have needed to feel ready for even the arm workout, right? Because as soon as you do like a tricep or a bicep, you're not really isolating the bigger muscles. That's why I do them in that order. But I just know that if I have some issues and some pain, I'll modify, and not purposely, but I will, just not perform the movements properly. So I've really focused mostly on the steps and mobility for the last 2 to 3 days. And today I finally feel like I'm good to go. Some days you may only feel like you can do 2 strength workouts. I would really like to give you a thumbs up and an okay from me saying that is absolutely okay. Please listen to your body. Warm up properly, do those mobilities, listen to how you feel. The other thing you might want to consider is, instead of doing 3 sets, sometimes I specify 4, but you might want to encourage 5 sets of things, especially those meat and potato workouts where you're doing like a chest or like a chest press or a squat or even pull-ups, not necessarily pull-ups, because a lot of you are still working on using a very thick band, but eventually you will progress to thinner bands as well. But it may take you 3 sets just to actually warm yourself up properly, that you can challenge yourself enough to do 6 reps. So I want to give you permission to not necessarily follow my guidelines perfectly if your body is not responding the way it should. And allow yourself some grace, and don't get too hard on yourself if that's what you have to do. The fact that you're still getting up and you're still making an effort in the weight room and trying to push through the best you can, even when you're not feeling great, is more than 75%, if not 80% of the people in North America. I mean, it's amazing. So please remind yourself that you are of an elite type of individual that is making a concerted effort to maintain some lean mass and strength. A lot of you are entering into your 50s. Some of you are not, and it's good for you because you're going to be ahead of the game. But many of you are my age or older, and the body, just through wear and tear, is just not going to respond the way it used to. This is just life. So allow yourself a little bit of grace, a little bit of more rest days than workout days. Don't train through the pain if it's too much. Dial it back with loads, write it in your notes, or allow yourself some more time off. That doesn't mean being lazy, sitting on the couch, not getting your 8,000 to 10,000 steps in each day, and maybe not doing 15 minutes of mobility each day. We're absolutely still maintaining some type of activity, hopefully each and every day. But those strength workouts, because we're only required to get 3 of them in each week, they can be spaced out for when your body is responding and feeling well. Keep in mind, habits, nutrition, inflammational food that causes inflammation will also be factors in why you're probably not feeling well. So if you've been out the night before and had some extra wine and maybe had some extra fried food, probably not the best idea to get a strength workout in if you're not feeling great. Get back on track and try it the next day. You'll get more out of that strength workout when you've given yourself a day. So hopefully that helps. Continue to push. Like I said, we are winding down into these splits. We've got 4 more weeks, then I completely switch those splits and change things up once again. So keep pushing heavy, keep pushing hard, listen to your body, but allow yourself the breaks if required.